Welcome back, and we're going to continue on with each of the charter review people telling about themselves, but Brian, you had something to say initially.
Yeah, I did want to try to really emphasize that both this ballot coming up at the end of August and the one in November, these are going to be very long ballots, and a lot of these people are not yet familiar with the filling in the dots. We strongly are encouraging people to call the supervisor's office and request an absentee ballot so they can sit at home with a cup of coffee and the newspaper and the internet and research their votes before they cast them. Our positions are way at the bottom of the ballot before the constitutional amendment, so we want to make sure that everyone has plenty of time to vote for everybody.
On that point, there's also a ballot that has places for Democrats to vote in the primary, even regarding Republicans. Barbara Gross and Shannon Staub, Democrats can vote in that regarding that race, and shouldn't see this primary as a place to just blow off as just a primary for Republicans.
Because this is where these charter amendments are going to be.
And these charter amendments are huge. It really is. So, Ray, why don't you tell about yourself, what you're wanting to do?
What I'm going to do with the Charter Review Board, basically, and I've said it many times, I think the public needs to have a place where they can go, feel welcome, feel encouraged to give their opinions, and I don't think that's present today. And it could be political, it may be deeper than that, but there seems to be an attitude on the board, the current board, that they don't want to be a valid part of county government anymore. 9 of the 10 members, we have one Democrat on that board, Debbie Trice. But
Debbie brought a lot of these issues out front, right. So we owe her that, right?
We just have a feeling, I think all the 5 of us agree, that board has so much potential and could be such a valid, legitimate part of county government for the citizens, and it's just not being used that way. You can tell by Kathy Layton's proposal. She wants to make it an appointed board. She wants to meet once every 5 years. If that happens, we may not even have a need for a charter review board, and I think that's where they're trying to aim us toward, and I'm offended by it.
You're offended by it?
I am. Mm-hmm. I think it defies democracy. It just takes us in a totally different direction, where we started in 1972 with this board, with this charter, and we need to retain it.
Mm-hmm. Jamie?
Well, first and foremost, I think we should preserve the charter that we have right now by, number one, voting against amendments 1 and 2, mm-hmm. and keeping it a voice for the people. Number 2, I think, in addition to what Ray has said, we should have more opportunity for people to voice their opinion, for us to make proposals and review changes and make recommendations. We should not ever take away the voice of the people for Sarasota. I think preservation comes first, saying no to those amendments, and then going from there and making the foundation which we have with our charter much stronger.
Okay, and your district?
I'm District 4.
Your district?
District 5.
5. Virginia?
One of the ideas that I have for making this board more accessible to the public is to propose an annual town hall meeting.
Once a year?
Once a year, where the public can come to the board and
where do they currently meet?
I assume they meet in the county meeting chambers, but I think that would be something to really help that process.
Huh?
And I've heard all kinds of rumors about how often they should meet or shouldn't meet, but I wouldn't be opposed to having a regular annual meeting, and then in addition to that, if there are citizens groups like Citizens for Sensible Growth or the SAFE group that have very credible petitions they want to bring forth, I don't object to a special meeting of the Charter Review Board being called, so the Charter Review Board may or may not approve these to go onto referendum, but at least there'll be a vetting process that does occur, and we might end up not having situations where litigation occurs, and that's how the Charter Review Board process can work in tandem with the public petitioning process.
So you want to be more transparent?
Well, more welcoming and empowering.
Open, transparent, whatever. Brian?
Well, I repeat, the elected members of the Sarasota County Charter Review Board are the protectors of our county constitution. That document starts with the words, "We the people of Sarasota County."
Oh, that's a remarkable little three-word sentence.
I've been saying that for 3 years now, "We the people of Sarasota." It's important that we retain the power of this board to the people and not to the political appointees of other people.
Ryan?
I think something as simple as a page on the county's website advertising board business, alerting the community to meetings, would make the Charter Review Board a more visible part of Sarasota community life. I think when you ask people, they don't know what the Charter Review
How
Board
often
is.
do they meet currently?
In the last 4 years, they have met 10 times.
So how much would you recommend they meet, the board itself, besides the forum? How often would you recommend?
I personally would recommend what Virginia recommends, which is a yearly town hall meeting to sort of take the pulse of...
Okay, but other than that, how often would you meet?
I think regular meetings every quarter is appropriate, and special
with that.
and special meetings when it's warranted.
So you're basically saying every 3 months, one meeting, and then annually an open town hall forum, not twice a year or anything like that?
I think once a year to take the pulse of the community, see how people are feeling, see if we need...
You guys seem unified. You know, the first meeting of your board, you're going to have to elect a chair if you guys all get in. Right that very first meeting, I've been told this, Debbie Trice, who's a sitting member, that very first meeting you would come and take part in, you'd have to elect a chair. So you'll have to be ready and raring to go out of the box. We have about 30 seconds left. Any final comments by anyone in particular?
Well, one thing I'd like to remind the voters of is that there are 5 candidates sitting here for the Charter Review Board, and all 5 of us will be representing a district, but you can vote for all of us no matter where you live in the district. So if you would like to have a new and renewed Charter Review Board, anyone in Sarasota County can vote for all 5 of us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jamie.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Ryan. Brian.
Thank you,
Virginia.
Augie.
And Ray, thank you. Next week I've got Barbara Gross coming on she's running against Shannon Staub, and she'll be talking about this charter review issues herself, because she has a real problem with the county commission and what it's been doing and what it's not been doing. So we're very grateful for you guys, and it's been an interesting show. It's one of the more arduous tasks I've had to do in a while. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Augie.
Thank you.